All right. Let's talk about blockchain trilemma. Okay. Now, you guys must have probably heard of blockchain trilemma, or you might not have heard of trilemma. I notice sometimes some people even call it dilemma, but I think I need to correct this thing. Dilemma is literally when you have two options, like, or will I say two conflicting issues. But trilemma, from the word tri, it's literally three. All right. The blockchain has three issues, three parts that are sometimes conflicting. So don't call it dilemma. Dilemma is just two. We literally have three issues. All right. So from what I just said now, at least you've understood the meaning of trilemma. All right. For something to be a trilemma, it's actually you're trying to achieve balance between three things. Okay, you're trying to achieve balance between three things. All right. From what I have here, okay, let's quickly read what we have here. It says the blockchain trilemma is a concept that refers to the challenge of achieving a balance between three fundamental aspects of blockchain technology. All right. And the fundamental aspects are what? Security, decentralization, and scalability. All right. Now, I'm going to explain this thing as usual, in terms that you'll be able to understand properly with, and I love giving real life examples. Okay. Now, some of you have this issue of those of us that you once experienced this whole thing whereby you're trying to achieve a certain academic degree. At the same time, um, you're trying to make money. All right, you're trying to make money. At the same time, you're probably sick at that point. You're trying to maybe help yourself. You're trying to go to hospital. So you're now confused. Should you just go to the hospital, stay there, and then risk not making money? Who will pay your bills? Who will pay your bills in the hospital? Or some people might already have money anyways. You're like, okay, you want to just go to the hospital and then stay there till you're better. You understand? Or you're probably having some spiritual issues that are pushing you from your village. So you want to go to the church and stay there. You understand? But some people would say, no, if it were to be me in your shoes, I would have what? Gone to school. Yes, some people say, oh, I'd have gone to school. Let me quickly go and finish my degree. Probably the college, the university. You understand? Let me quickly go and finish my degree. Some people will say, let me focus on making money, bro. Now who get money, they survive. You understand? Let me make my money. Once I'm done making my money, then I can go and treat myself, or I can go to school. Now the question is, what if as you're making your money, what if you now die in the process? What if? Or what if you keep on spending that money on sickness? I don't know if you're following my explanation today. This is one of the best ways I can explain trilemma. You understand? You're trying to create a balance between three of them, but it's just not possible. One has to suffer for the other at every given point in time. You understand? If you want to focus on your academics, your financial life has to suffer. No how, no how. There is nothing like 50, no such thing as balance. It's either you are solely focusing on your academics, you're going to school, and then you're not making as much money as you can. You can only try to be making maybe some little amount of money or something. Yes, I've been there. You understand? Whereby I'm trying to balance making money and then I'm also trying to balance going to school. I normally tell people all these things, there's no such thing as balance. One road to wealth creation is what's giving time, per action, or will I say action per time? Where is your time right now? When it's time, giving priority. When it's time for exam, give your time to your exams. Once you pass your exams, come back and give more of your time to your money making. You can be attending classes and whatnot. It depends on how brilliant you are, anyways. Someone like me, if in a semester we have like let's say 12 weeks in a semester or whatnot, 12 weeks, 3 months now. At the I'll be attending classes, I'll be going through everything. But if I'm to read for exam, I can literally use 1 week to read everything that we've done in the semester. The only thing is that I'll try to be attending classes. And when it's time to attend classes, I'll turn off my phone, turn off everything, so that I can be able to pay attention to what is happening in the class. Because I know that once I get back home, I'm literally going back to my phone and my business. Do you understand? Some people literally want to go back to their books and read. There's no way you can go back to your books and read like every day, every day, every day. You're going to school, you're coming back, and everything you're doing is just reading, 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 reading. Tell me how you want to have time to focus on your business life. Now, there are some courses that actually demand such, probably like the medicine courses or law course. I don't know. I really don't care because I'm not doing that anyways. But I'm only just telling you what I normally do. And then if I'm to pass my exam, I literally read just 1 week to the exam. I know normally, academically speaking, they will condemn it. They'll say, oh, no, that's not how to read. Bro, I have good grades. I came out, I have first class grades, first class and second class upper. You understand? If I'm literally my worst, if I don't read, is second class upper. If I read, it's first class straight. Even all through my secondary school education and the rest, now first class, first position, first position, first position. You understand? So it's literally what you have to understand yourself. You need to understand yourself. I can literally just read something right now. Like I can look at this thing right now and I'll explain it properly to you, like as if I've read it since you whatnot. But there are some people that they'll have to read it and study and study and study and study before they, you understand? So you need to study yourself, understand yourself, which is why I used to tell some of my students that I really don't believe in balance. One has to suffer for the other. You understand? Give priority to where you're supposed to give priority per time, and then your life will be better. So it's the same thing like this whole blockchain trilemma thing. We have three issues here. Security, all right? How secure the blockchain is. Decentralization, the thing about enforcing the fact that nobody owns this blockchain, nobody owns anything, nobody controls it. And then scalability, how fast, how big, how wide, the number of things it can handle. All right. So, I mean, this is literally the best form that I can explain this thing in a way that what you would understand. And I think what I should do is give it explanations. Okay. Now, the most secure blockchain out there is the Bitcoin blockchain. Those ones, they are focused on like that's why they say if you want to store assets, they would advise you to store it on the Bitcoin blockchain. Buy Bitcoin and hold. If you're the type that you just want to save for long term, you get because you can there has never been any history of scams on the Bitcoin blockchain. All right. And also it is the most decentralized. You understand? It is highly decentralized. Highly decentralized. Okay. You understand? So the whole Bitcoin thing, I'm going to teach you guys. Well, I think the next course, the next session or section, is we talking about consensus mechanism. I'm going to teach you what exactly makes Bitcoin and all these other blockchains very secure. You understand? Because consensus mechanism deals with the security. Bitcoin uses POW, proof of work, to maintain its high security standard. That is why if I want to store $1 billion right now, I'll buy Bitcoin and just keep it. And the Bitcoin thing keeps on even increasing. I remember when Bitcoin was okay, let me not even go too far. Just recently, I think 2 years back or 1 year back or something, I can't remember. I think yeah, that was 2 years back. Bitcoin was literally it got down to like $19,000 or $16,000. Some people were saying to get down to $10,000. I really didn't have an issue because I knew that it still go back up. Currently, as I'm speaking to you, Bitcoin is about $120,000. So imagine people that now stacked up Bitcoin. I also stacked up Bitcoin back then. I think I bought a couple of BTCs and I stacked up. Imagine the kind of profits right now. I've never really opened my Bitcoin portfolio right now. I don't want to check it. The thing should just be pumping. I'll probably check it when we get to 200,000. When we get to 200,000 per Bitcoin. You understand? It keeps on pumping. Check the years. It's just like land. Land many years back is not the same right now. Gold many years back is not the same right now. You understand? So if you want for store of value, people normally prefer what? Bitcoin. All right. Bitcoin is so focused on this whole security and centralization thing that scalability is an issue for it. You understand? Don't worry. I'll keep on mentioning many blockchains so that you understand that most of them have two, but then there's always one issue from the other. You understand? There's literally what's always one issue from the other. So let's move on. Let's move on. So a particular project can decide to what? Fix two issues. It can be decentralized and secure, but not scalable. It can be scalable and secure, but less decentralized. Now, take note of my terms. I didn't say not decentralized. I said what? Less decentralized. You understand? And sometimes it can be scalable and decentralized, but less secure. I hope people understand me on scalable, Sha. Scalable, like, um, you know, it can handle load. Yes. Okay, let me use the word. It can. Okay, let's take all these things again. Decentralized and secure, but it cannot handle much load. Scalable, which is what? Handling much load, and secure, but it is less decentralized, meaning there's still a particular aspect that is still governed by someone. Someone is still controlling a particular aspect. We're going to come back to all these things to give you some possible examples and scenarios and the rest. Now, the last one is what? It can handle load. It is what? Decentralized. Nobody controls it, but it is less secure. You understand? So if we're going from the first one, which is what? Decentralized and secure, but it cannot handle much load. A good example, in fact, the greatest example, like I just mentioned, is what? Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what? Decentralized, highly secure, but it cannot handle too much load. Bitcoin can process only 7 transactions per second, and it's slow because we need things like several thousands of transactions per second. That's why you see some people, they'll say, oh, they came to solve problem of scalability and they can process 1 billion transactions. Oh, no, although I don't think I've seen the one that can process 1 billion anyways. But then you say they can process thousands of transactions per second and all those whole things. You understand? So that is sorry, that's one issue that Bitcoin has. All right. And to me, it's not even much of an issue anyways. Because so long as you are secure and then you're sure working. So, because if you try it, for those of you that have tried sending out Bitcoin, you'll notice that Bitcoin takes a very long time to send out. Or if you're trying to send in Bitcoin, it takes a very long time for you to see your Bitcoin. When I mean very long time, I mean can even take up to an hour. I think the highest I've had to wait for my Bitcoin to drop is 1 hour. It's not like Ethereum or Solana that drops in seconds. Ethereum can even take maybe like 1 minute. You see Solana, seconds. In fact, if you press send now, you see your Solana the next 2 seconds or 1 second. Do you understand? If you press send in BNB, you will literally see your money in what? 1 second. Do you understand? So let me get my power bank. All right. My phone was already going low. All right. So yes. So let's move forward. Now the next case study I mentioned is what? The ones that are what? The ones that are what? Can handle load. All right. Scalability. They can process transactions very fast. And the ones that are secure. Let's check this case study. We just talked about what? Security and decentralization. And we mentioned Bitcoin. Let's focus on what? The one that can handle load, which is what? Scalability, and has the property of what? Security. And it's very secure. All right. So I think we can talk about blockchain like um I think Ethereum. All right. Uh I'd have loved to even use BSC, or BSC they stress my head. BSC is BSC is less secure. Like BSC has issues because you can hack. I think hmm, they hack like mad for that BSC side. You can just send in. It's easy to hack contracts in the BSC side. Like I for one have witnessed it. You can send in one BNB now in your wallet, and then before you know it, somebody just move your money. You'll be looking at who? You'll be looking for who? But you can't ever hear that in the Bitcoin space. You can't ever hear it in the Bitcoin space. You get. So it's just crazy. Hearing, it's just too crazy, Jerry. Somebody will move your money. Ah, it's painful. All right. So yes. So as I was saying, let's compare security and what scalability. Right. Now, I want to probably talk about. Let's still use BSC, because let's still use BSC or Solana. Let's still use BSC or Solana actually. So we can say they have some level of security, anyways. They have some level of security. You understand? But and again, you can process many. This one, at least, they carry grade for that one. They really focused on scalability. All right, they really focus on scalability. These Solana guys and BNB people. You understand? So, but they they they're sort of less decentralized. They have issues of decentralization, serious issues of decentralization. You understand? But it's not as bad. You understand? It's not as bad. So, and then the final case study, we want to talk about what? Load plus decentralized. You can handle load plus it is what? Decentralized, but it is less secure. And maybe see all these new blockchains are coming up. Some of them they'll say they can handle many transactions and they are decentralized, but they are literally easy to hack. You understand? Well, many of them are easy to hack. Many of them are easy to hack. You understand? Um, so yeah. Sorry, my phone wanted to off, so I was trying to place this thing very well. All right. So Let's continue. All right. Let's continue. So let me give another example, and then I'll probably call it off. Now, if we're talking about security, all right, I'm going to give you this final example, and then you've gotten this thing properly. Let's think of a house, the same house now that I probably was using in my other explanations, all right? Another, I use house when I was talking about layers of blockchain. If you didn't take the course, go back and take the course. So let's talk about that same house that I was using, all right? Now, if you're going to look at security, normally, security will be what? Strong padlocks, strong door locks, and strong walls, strong doors safe, so that thieves, kidnappers, not kidnappers, kidnappers, I don't know, armed robbers, they can't break down your door easily. All right, your door is very strong. Your walls are strong. Earthquake, or will I say, earthquake would say earthquake would definitely shake your wall. Let me use things like rainfall. Rainfall cannot just easily push down your wall. You understand? And then strong locks, so that when you lock your door, you understand? When you lock your door, it will literally what? You have peace of mind that what that lock is very strong. So that's like the security thing we're talking about. And then I want to probably also talk about scalability, which is what? In that same house, all right? In that same house, let's say you built a family house. You definitely want to build in a way that the rooms are big, all right? Enough rooms. Because obviously you are coming from a place of rented apartments and the rest. So for you to have built your family house, you probably have in mind that, oh, you want a bigger space, you want something that is your own. Although some people just build to manage just because they want to have title and oh, they already have family house. But some people actually build it to their proper taste. You understand? They build it to their proper taste and then they want to have what spaces in the room you get. So like there's one of this my construction I was doing, one of my projects. You understand? So I noticed how some of the houses I've lived in, were small and the rest. So when I was doing this particular construction, I was like, no, 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 the room has to be very, very big, very, very big. You get so yes, and then we finally have what decentralization. All right, decentralization means I use this case study. Can I use? I'm like, okay, it's your house. Okay, there's no landlord there. No landlord. You understand? No landlord to throw you out. It's literally your own house. All right. No landlord there. And you can also liken it to a case study like real estate. Everybody has a piece. All right. Like this, there's this real estate that there's this building that one of my friends did, Vanessa Lostro. All right. One of the biggest, if not the biggest restaurant right now in Yaba. You understand? Um, so like my circle were given allocations. All right. So someone like Zeus now, I think Zeus probably bought the whole first block or something. I don't know. I really don't know how many he bought or something. So he owns it. All right. He owns it. It's his own. But it's just that it was in collaboration. You understand? There's no landlord that can come and pursue him. Why? Because his money is part of the whole stuff. You get. So I'm looking for the best case studies to explain this whole decentralization thing. You understand? So I think you guys have now at least had the at least knowledge of all these things. So from everything I've said so far, you've understood that blockchain trilemma is literally that thing that there's no such thing as balance here. You can only solve as much as two. We are still yet to see that blockchain that is going to solve three of them properly, like properly, efficiently, without having issues. So far, this is how many years now, we've not seen any blockchain or any solution, any project, any protocol that is here to solve these issues. You understand? So I don't know if I read this thing. It's difficult to maximize all three of those aspects simultaneously. Improving one often comes at the expense of the others. You understand? It's just like the case study I gave for the whole exam thing, your normal life, whereby you can't balance. I mean, there's no such thing as balance. One has to suffer for the other. One has to really suffer for the other. You understand? One has to be reduced. One activity has to be reduced for the other to be increased. You understand? So I hope with everything I've said, you now understand what blockchain trilemma is. You understand? So you're not always surprised when you notice that one particular blockchain has security. You're not be like, oh God, why does it have security issues? Why does it have scalability issues? Understand that is why we have what blockchain trilemma. That's why we have what the case study of what blockchain what trilemma. So don't be surprised. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. They're not be God. We don't even have God here in Web3. You understand? So yeah. I'll see you guys in the next session where I'll talk about what consensus, what mechanism. I'm going to talk about blockchain security. I really want to go deep into consensus. You will enjoy that consensus mechanism because there is a whole lot of physical real life examples. I love teaching that consensus mechanism. I really love teaching it. So join me in the next session. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this link and tell someone to come and learn what you just learned. All right. I'll see you in the next session.